Game is so fun.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, what's the game left? That's I know like the Hulk stand fell like it's up like a 3 to 4 year. Yeah, how many seasons are we expecting? Yeah, I had a combat one.
I think that would be dictated by the reception that the game gets. The Mortal Kombat 1 first year we had really well. That inspired us to do a year two, so to speak, with Khaos Reigns. And that does similarly. I can't see it's just dropping. Let's not do anything else. So I think that's really going to be dictated by players.
You think that I know like with Mortal Kombat being a fighting game, get that back in the same as I've seen so many fight in Street Fighter, stuff we can get that back to what's going to fight.
Yeah, yeah, I do. There's always like this kind of balance that we're looking for in terms of trying to make the game as accessible to the casual audience, which is this big, and then the kind of pro scene, which is this big, but very vocal, very important, very big part of our strategy is to encompass both of those, both those groups.
It happens.
So, hey, so the Chaos Reigns is going to continue more to come up with a story. It's going to expand the roster at even for the next season. It's going to include Cyrax, Sector, New Terminator, Terminator 2, Justice Day, Ghostface, the Screen, and Conan the Barbarian. These are some real fun characters.
Yeah.
I guess how was it like getting like characters, deciding what kind of characters you want?
It's very unscientific. Some people would guess that we're doing market research and doing all this stuff like that. It's if you imagine you're with your friends and you said, let's come up with three really cool characters to come up with, it would be the same conversation. It's not rocket science. It is a bunch of science. Probably still somewhat juvenile game developers, thinking what would be cool. As simple as
We need to chip money.
exactly.
So in a similar vein, because I know Ghostface was a rumored character for like a long time. Like even when I first got, did that influence it at all, or was like that just like you guys sitting around like, yeah, Ghostface would be kind of cool. I thought just added in.
We said Ghostface would be kind of cool years, and you have to get permission from
Yeah,
the owner of the IPs. So sometimes they're doing something with someone else, or the character's appearing in another game or something like that, and then it prevents it. So we just kind of keep going back to them, and then at some point they said yes, and we jumped on the horse.
nice.
Do you have a white whale character that you best trying to hunt down for ages, especially for like this expansion?
Um,
Or be honest.
Many of them, actually, yeah. So there's if you almost think about we have like 10 pots on the stove that are in various stages of simmering to cold to boiling hot, and we're just it's a lot of things have to do to kind of align the planets.
And as if we ever approached you, like their properties,
Yes, yeah, they have. Yeah, I know.
and that's probably can't talk about.
Yeah, I wish I could. But they'll assume that we're doing that,
Yeah,
and then I got to answer through PR.
got it. Yeah, yeah.
I got to ask, when Mortal Kombat 1 was released on Switch, we had a bit of a hiccup.
Yeah,
Are we ready with DLC for Switch version?
yeah. So we definitely want to make that right.
Yeah.
Sure.
You have, come off the question too much. Do you have different teams that are specialized in the platform?
Yeah. We tend to focus on the PlayStation and Xbox versions, and then we get help from like the PC and the Switch and the extended versions. And there were certainly things that we're going to be doing differently going forward to get those in sync with the SKUs that we work in.
And from like a like start to finish development standpoint, when does like with this expansion at one point did those individual teams start to do their own parts to get ready for this specific fight? Where in the platform?
They try to keep up with us as much as we can, but especially at the end of the project, the game has changed constantly, and it's kind of hard to kind of keep up. So we got to do something with timing to make sure that there's an ample amount of time for them to catch up.
Hey guys.
So we have the inclusion of animalities now. Is it? I know we asked the other developer about, or the arts, the other guy that was here about it. What took so long to actually get that back in? And was there a limitation to get there? I guess.
No, there definitely wasn't a limitation. We here and there we've had characters turn into animals. I think in like Mortal Kombat 4 or something, we turned Scorpion into a scorpion. But to bring the whole feature back,
Yeah.
it's been 21 years or something. That's ridiculous. That we have coordinate. So it was just the last couple of games we brought back friendships and then Animalities and whatnot. So you're like, okay, let's do them all. Let's like Animalities was kind of like one of the last ones.
How noticed that Mortal Kombat has a lot of accessibility control. Like, what is you adding now? So, like, if I can see it, keep up or input those certain combinations. I know you have like one button, certain like fatalities and like
Yeah,
adding more stuff. What's going on?
we literally worked with some kind kind of professional um, players who are disabled and they give us a ton of ideas. What if you did this? What if you did, using audio cues to identify where the other player is, or changing the kind of color palette to be a little bit more easier to see from somebody who's vision's impaired and stuff like that. So it's really the inspiration comes from them. They say you should do something like this, and we usually just run with it.
And how get into a relationship like that? That sounds pretty nice.
They I think they approached us at either a game developers conference or maybe we got like a representative call us or something, and they said, we thought we'd love it if you do that. There was one player I remember who got really good at it. He was blind, completely blind, and I was asking him, how do you, he goes, well, I hear the footsteps sounds, they're the place, and then I know when they're closer, and then I hear the character go, "Look," so I know they're jumping, and so I know where they're. And so I think they have like an image in their head, and the audio is just kind of making cues to now this happened, and then they just piece it together and play the game. That's when he said that, we said, okay, there's something here we can make really good.
Oh, you're also trying to hear more and shit. You get a story. Like, he's with all the everyone's how you do it. Us. Well, yes, I.
We get a lot of data that says what people do when they first start playing the game. A gigantic percentage of our players, the first thing they do is go right to the story. They just put, so there's very little we need to do to
I
and again, some players, they just get right online and they just want to play competitively. The reasons the story mode exists, is not only to tell a story, but to also give players who are intimidated to go online, because they just get beat up 2 or 3 times and they're like, forget that, But in the story, it's at a slower pace. The opponents aren't crazy killer, Sonic Fox level skill, and you can have it's way more accessible. It's many more people can play that game and have fun without getting on the line.
Now with this expansion, what's the thing that you're most proud of that you got a chance to play?
Oh, that's a tough one. You know, there's a couple. I think Animalities is a big one. Just getting that featured back. That some people, some players weren't even born when that came out. That's pretty red born. And the story is also great. It's also great to kind of continue the stories line. And there's secrets in the game that you haven't even announced that we're gonna like to see how it takes people to play out.